Welcome to my channel. I'm Shenel with Save Sell Shenel. If you're new to my channel, this channel is dedicated to the different ways I save and sell one day at a time. So let's get into it. So a lot of people have been asking me, Shenel, what platforms should I sell on? If you've watched my previous video, which has been a long time ago, it was really rough, but I wanted to make a new video for you to showcase how you should go about selling on e-commerce or local platforms. So those are two of the ways that I either sell my inventory, and I'm going to tell you what platform I use and why. So the question you should ask first is this something that you want to sell locally, or is this something that you want to sell online? There are different questions that I ask myself. For example, is the item heavy, such as a large couch? Is it something that's going to cost a lot of money to ship via FedEx ground? There are a lot of factors that I think about. So some of those platforms that I would use if I wanted to sell locally would be either OfferUp, letgo, or 5 Miles. Those are the apps that I would prefer to use. Now, if you also want to use Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, you can use those too. I know a lot of family members who've used Facebook Marketplace and had really good sales with that too. Craigslist, personally, I think now is slowing down a little bit. It used to be a lot more popular, but unfortunately, I feel like it has a lot more, depending on your area. There have been a lot more shady individuals there, a lot of people who don't show up in terms of sales. So I no longer use Craigslist. I prefer to use OfferUp, 5 Miles, or letgo. And the reason being, I much rather have an app versus a Facebook, because I don't want the Facebook Marketplace to be linked to my personal Facebook account and then people in that algorithm figuring out a proximity of where I live and whatnot. So I typically prefer to use OfferUp because that has the most people, in my opinion. And I live in San Antonio, Texas, and I've also used this when I used to live in Houston. That is the area, the app that gets the most results, and I can sell things quickly locally. The next one that I use is letgo. So OfferUp and letgo are very similar in that you'll just post an item, someone will send you a message, and then you'll sell or meet up somewhere locally. 5 Miles is another app that I use that has the benefits of the first two, OfferUp and letgo. The only difference is that 5 Miles has the option to boost your listing. So within a certain amount of time, it will boost you to the top of the page, and that's one of the things that letgo and OfferUp do not have compared to 5 Miles. So that's actually one of the apps that I choose to use to really move some of my larger items and sell them locally. And because I haven't been selling larger items, super unique items, or I want to have more bang for my buck, I really want to maximize the amount of money that I'll be making in terms of selling items, I've been choosing to sell my items on apps instead of local sales. And the reason being is because I don't want to take the time out of my day to meet someone at a public area, and I do want to warn you, when you are making a sale, please meet up in a public space, especially if you are a female or even if you're male. If there are people that are coming into your home to move furniture, make sure there are other people with you to be safe. And if there's going to be smaller items, meet at a gas station or somewhere where it's farther away from your house, that someone doesn't follow you home, but still not so far out of your way that it's an inconvenience to you. So just be mindful when you're making local sales. Just keep safety first. When it comes to e-commerce though, there are different apps that I use. The traditional ones are going to be eBay. eBay has been the platform that a lot of people know about, but the problem with eBay is that it's a really complex platform if you're just starting out. eBay has the option to sell locally, nationally, and globally. So it starts to get really complicated, especially when it comes to shipping. But for me, because I've been selling on eBay actually for over 10 years now, I'm already familiar with that platform, and I do have 2 eBay stores that sell completely different things. And for me personally, I continue to start all of my listings on eBay and then cross post to the apps that I'm about to tell you. The reason being is that because of the global shipping program that I use through eBay, I get a lot more sales and a lot more eyes on my items before I start cross posting to apps that are more of a local or have a smaller market. So after I sell on eBay, mind you, if you wanted to sell something locally, you can use the eBay app to use the feature as a local pickup, but keep in mind they will take that 10% commission off of that. Keep in mind when it comes to 5 Miles, OfferUp, and letgo, they may be changing their fee structures depending on if you're shipping the item through their apps or if you're doing a local pickup. So at this point in time, you'd have to check to see what fees that they're going to ask. The next app that I use after eBay is going to be the Poshmark app. And if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I have multiple Poshmark videos. And the reason why I love selling on Poshmark is about 60% of the items that I sell are going to be fashion related to clothing, accessories, or home goods. Now, the items that I sell on Poshmark are going to be locally within the United States. And what I really enjoy about selling on Poshmark is that it has a flat rate fee for shipping up to 5 pounds. And from there, that's just a flat rate. So if you're a new seller, it will be very easy for you to post and list an item, write a description, and then ship it out because it's a label. They'll email it to you and then you just put it on top of your item. Whereas eBay gets a lot more complicated. You have to weigh it out, you have to measure the box, and then it calculates it based on the descriptions. There are just so many options when it comes to shipping on eBay that if you don't know what you're doing, you can make a huge mistake. And I've done that in the past where I used to accidentally ship things through media mail and just didn't know what was going on. So don't make that mistake. If you just want less of a headache and not too complicated, I would stick to, if you're doing just fashion, stick to Poshmark. But keep in mind, they do have a fee of 20% commission or 20% fee and a flat rate. Depending if it's $15 or less, they'll take a certain amount, but they'll take a fee from that too. So keep that in mind. Maybe that fee structure isn't something that you're looking for. The next app that I will, after posting on eBay and Poshmark, is going to be Mercari. Now, Mercari is an app that you can sell almost anything on that platform. It is very similar to eBay, where if you wanted to sell electronics, you wanted to sell toys, you wanted to sell all of these more encompassing anything at your house kind of a situation, you can. And Mercari has really come up as a strong competitor when it comes to eBay and to Poshmark. Mercari sells, you can sell clothing, you can sell jewelry, you can sell things in your home, things in your kitchen. There's just so much that you can sell on Mercari. The only disadvantage for Mercari is that it's still in the growing stages and that there's really no way that it has the same amount of eyes compared to eBay. So that's why I do eBay and then Poshmark, then Mercari. One of the other apps that I use is going to be Depop. And if you are unfamiliar with Depop, Depop is another selling app that came out of the UK. And I also did a video on it. I'm put a photo of it here. I did a video of how to get started selling on Depop. Now that is going to be my slowest selling app of all the apps that I used, aside from Instagram, which I'm going to talk about after this. But in terms of an app-based type of selling platform, it is the slowest one, but I have sold around 10 items on that platform. But it is also very easy to sell on. Mercari and Depop both take 10%. I have a 10% fee structure, and it's also Depop and Mercari have flat rates in terms of shipping labels. It makes it easier if you're new to selling. But the thing with Depop is that in terms of their platform and what really sells on there is really vintage, really unique clothing items and shoes. Best thing that I can compare it to is if you've watched on Netflix Slobby's World or Slobby's World, I'll put a picture here. That is really that style of clothing. Those are more high-end, unique pieces. People are willing to spend a little bit more money. Things that you just can't get online, or people don't want to shop on eBay because they're a younger generation. They're more into like something easy. They're gonna probably shop on Depop. So that's what I've sold on Depop. The next platform that I use is going to be Instagram. Now, Instagram is going to be one of those platforms where if you want to sell on there, you can. I usually use it to, I have multiple Instagram accounts, and depending on what you're trying to sell, you really need to use hashtags. I use 30, a maximum of 30 hashtags, and I'll use hashtags based on the brand that's needed, the style that's needed, and then general categories such as women's fashion, men's shirts, or women's shoes. Last year I sold Halloween costumes, so I'd say use specific Halloween tags. Halloween, the name of the movie, the characters. So, you know, this way you're making it very narrow, but people who are looking for specific styles, they'll go and DM you, and then you establish how you want to receive payment. Is it going to be PayPal? Is it going to be Venmo? Is it going to be the Cash App? You have to decide. Or even if it's locally, you can go ahead and just meet locally and do similar pickups to what I told you about the local apps, where you'll meet at a neutral location and then hurry up with a sale that way. But overall, I feel Instagram is going to be my slowest one. I know a lot of people sell on Instagram, and the app, or actually a local San Antonio store that does a lot of selling, not only in their physical location, but also online, that I look to a lot in terms of their internet and Instagram selling is going to be the Come Up. And I'll put a picture of their Instagram here. I really love shopping in their store. They get super unique vintage items. They know what they're doing, and I really appreciate their hard work and hustle. But in terms of their strategy, they're perfect. They don't even really use hashtags. It's just that a lot of people are looking for these super unique vintage items, and people are finding them and wanting them and finding ways to buy it online. Those are going to be all the platforms that I currently sell on. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can also DM me on Instagram at Save Sell Shenel. If you're not already following me there, I have different ways to save and sell. Every single day I'll do saving and selling tips. And if you're not already following me on SaveSellShenel.com, I do thrift tips Thursday, every single Thursday, of local thrift stores in the San Antonio area and ways that you can save your money. And I also give myself a $10 budget to see how much you can buy with only $10. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to help you out. Everyone has a different business strategy. And I also wanted to mention, because my business strategy is diversification, a lot of people are going to be more stick to one platform, post. But for me, I have a day job. I have this YouTube channel. I have a podcast. I have a blog. I can't just make sure I'm sticking to one platform. I choose to diversify because you never know what app your buyer is going to be using. And that's the reason why I choose to cross-post to so many platforms, because you never know who your buyer is going to be. You never know who's going to want it. And I much rather maximize my time as much as I can, or my one item, to all the platforms to quickly sell. And that is my reason that I diversify versus just posting like 1,000 items on one platform and things may sit. Because there have been instances where I've had my prices on eBay be higher than on Poshmark, and it sells on eBay, and because of the fee structure I actually make more money on eBay. Or I'll also have something that's posted really high on Depop and it's posted low on Poshmark and Mercari on eBay, ends up selling there because it's a unique item. So I end up making more money because the fee is only 10%, and it's just overall more that I'm keeping in my pocket. So you never know. Just make sure your fee structures, your prices are going to be high enough to where you make money after the fees. So, and I will be doing future videos on every single app that I use. I haven't had a chance to do it because it's been crazy this year, but I promise I will be doing more educational videos on how I use these different apps to make money. So I'm gonna leave the video here. So until next time, I'll see you in my next video.